Hello. Welcome to this stream. In this video I'll be going over the plugins I'm using because some people have asked me what plugins I use, and if you don't and have not used them before, plugins are a lifesaver, time saver, and really important. Especially some of them are really important for groups and raids and instances. So I'll go over them one by one, and if you have any questions about any of them, feel free to ask in the chat. I'll be looking over the chat every now and then so that I can answer your questions. So let's open plugins manager. There in this, so it's a / /plugins space manager. If you do that, then this window pops up. Here you see all the plugins you have in your document folder of Lord of the Rings, under plugins folder. There you copy paste everything you download from lotrointerface.com or whatever other site which provides the plugins for Lotro. As you can see, I have a lot of them, but I don't have all of them activated because I only use some of them. So the first one, and really it's not essential, but it really helps you if you want to know how much damage or heals you did or the damage taken, then this one is essential. It's called combat analysis. Once you load it up from here, making sure that you can see my mouse on the screen. Okay, so once you load it up, can you see my mouse? Yeah, you see my mouse. Okay, so 3 windows. Once plugin combat analysis is loaded up, 3 windows or 3 things on your screen pop up. This one here at the top, and then this window, and this window, which can be minimized. So this is minimized at the moment. I can maximize it, as you can see. So these are the 3, 1, 2, 3 windows popped up. This is to turn it, make it appear and make it invisible. If you click it, it disappears. If you click it again, it appears again. But remember, it's still running in the background. It's just not visible on the screen, so you don't have too much clutter on your screen. If you can make it invisible and visible again. How to use it? It's pretty simple. You don't have to change any settings or anything at all. You just keep an eye on this one and just see what happens to them as I get in combat and start attacking. As you can see now, it's showing here the damage doing. Obviously my damage is crap, but that's not the issue here. So you see that it shows 20 seconds of combat, what I'm attacking, and so on. Now let's stop, get out of combat, and let's see what it shows us. First, here, if you click it, here it will give you the list of attacks you did, the amount of times you hit those attacks, and the damage done by those attacks. You can further, I don't know if it's really visible. I think I have it too much transparent. Anyhow, but if you click it, it shows you gallant display done 4 times, improved sure strike 4 times, pressing attack 4 times, improved grave wound 5 times, and it just gives you the list and in the order of the damage done by those skills. That's one. Second thing, here at the bottom you see send to chat If you click it, this chat bubble icon, it will say to send it to save, send it to fellowship, send it to raid, send it to kinship chat, and you can pick any of those, and then you just press send to chat, and it basically sends to chat the amount of damage done in total and the DPS meaning damage per second. That is the stat that most people look at when they ask how much DPS did you do. You see, I did 22k DPS, I did 30k DPS, I did 50k DPS. So that's one thing. Second, this is a more detailed version. So that's to send to chat and check what attacks you did and how much damage you did by those attacks. Here, if you click the one at the bottom, it says total, and then it says training dummy. That is for specialized boss. So if there, for example, there are two bosses, then here under totals, so not the first one, leave the first one how it is, and on the one below it, you click it, and it will show you boss 1 and then boss 2, boss 3, depending on however bosses were in that fight while you were still in combat. So you can pick like boss 1 or boss 2 just to check. If you did like 30k on one boss, it will show only damage done to that boss. Here, if you select the other boss, then it will show the damage done to the other boss here. If you click totals, then it will show you the damage done during combat in the whole fight, in one session of in-combat fighting. When you get out of combat, it starts the next from the bottom, or from the top, sorry. It starts the next name. So if you killed boss 1, got out of combat, and then started DPSing boss 2, then it will have boss 1 at the top and then boss 2 at the bottom. But you can play around and try to play around with it. It's not really hard. It does take a little practice, but once you start seeing the numbers, it makes sense. But the other important window, let's minimize this window. You can click minimize and place it on the side. The other window is this one. This one is a really cool window. What this does is it still shows you the damage done and the DPS, but it also shows you the maximum hit you did, the average DPS you did, the minimum hit you did. It shows you your critical chance. So there you can see if you critted a lot or not. And then at the bottom, on the DPS, you can see here I did 5% light damage and 94.6% Balerian damage. This tab is not really important for the damage version. It's more important for the taken version. So if we select from the first window, we were in the damage in the beginning. If you go to the taken, there it shows us the damage we took. But this is more important in the second window. So if you from here, you can post this as well, send to chat, I took this amount of damage. And then you go to the other window and you can see here how was the maximum hit you took, what type of damage were you hit by. It's really important to know. If you don't know, it's a new fight, it's a new boss, you've never done it before, you can check here what type of damage he did so that you can gear yourself accordingly, whether it was physical damage or common damage or Balerian damage or acid damage, shadow damage, lightning damage, frost damage, fire damage. And then you can gear yourself accordingly. Another important thing here is to see the avoidances for the tanking classes. It's really important to see and know how much were you able to avoid their skills, what were the partial avoids, block, parry, and evade, how many skills were evaded, how much percentage of damage was evaded and blocked and parried. And same goes for the physical avoids and full avoids. That's really important as well. And of course you can check if you were being hit a lot by the critical hits of the boss. That would mean that you would need to increase your critical defense, if the boss is hitting like 70% critical hits on you. So you have to gear yourself accordingly. So that's really important to know. Next one is heal. This is for the healers, obviously, but not just for the healers. Obviously, when healers will be healing, they'll be seeing the amount of heals they are doing here. But it's also important for the tanks and even other people in the fellowship just to see how much heals they got. So for a tank, it will show you the heal you're doing, but it will also show you the heal that the healer is doing to you. And there you can check your healer's heals, and just if they are a little low or something, then you can tell them and try to help them figure out why they were not doing as much heals as they should have been doing. So that's really useful to know as well. Same goes for the healers, the critical, how much critical heals you did, and how much normal heals, what was your maximum heal, and so on. So that's really informative. So that was the first plugin I wanted to go over. Combat analysis. Highly recommended. I wouldn't say must have, because I mean, come on, must have. That's a strong statement. It's Lotro. It's not some super hardcore game, but it's good to have, even if you're just a little bit concerned and want to just try to min-max a little bit. Then it's nice to have. Let's go to the next plugin. If you have any questions regarding any of the anything I showed so far, feel free to ask in chat. I'll have a look and try to answer them. Okay, the next plugin is obviously gonna be Buff Bars. Buff Bars. Buff Bars is, if anything I'll say is essential, I'll say it's Buff Bars. That's essential, because it just takes away all the headache of not knowing which color of your pot to click, meaning if you need to use the fear one, or the disease one, or the wound one, or the poison one. If you don't know what to do, then Buff Bars is your thing. You need to have it. When you load the Buff Bars up, it will have 3 windows. So it will have this one and Buff Bars, the slider window, and then it'll have another one on the side. I have disabled the one on the side. No, actually, I think I have it. Yeah, there it is. So here we go. I can't show how the wounds pops up, but basically, what Buff Bars does is, let me go over it. Let me go to the plugins manager and I'll show you. So let me make this large. So once you load Buff Bars up, you go to Options. After Options, you go to Quick Slot. In the Quick Slot, you see this: Disease, Fear, Poison, Wound. What you do is, you open your bags where you have those Doomfold Conduit Draughts, and you click here, you hit Edit. After Edit, it pops up this window. Here, you just pick up your disease spot and just drop it here in the quick slot, and then you accept. And you do the same for the others as well, and after that you click Accept, and then open your UI to change your settings of the UI, and then you see here the Buff Bars quick slots. It has disease, wound, poison, and disease spots over here. So every time you need to you have a wound effect that needs to be cured, what it will do is it will just show here right in front of me the thing I need to click to remove it. So if I have wound, it will show only the red wound part, which I can click to remove it. So that's really useful when you don't know which effect you have. And if it's poison or disease, then it will only show the one you need to click to remove that effect from you as fast as you can. Otherwise, if you have it on your quick slot bars, then you have to see like which one you need to click and you don't know. While buff bars will resolve that problem and just only show you the part that you will just click, and it will be, the effect will be gone from you. I have done something else with Plugins Manager as well. There is an add option here. So I clicked add, and from here I clicked curable disease, curable fear one by one, and what I did was, since I have a skill as well, muster courage, which cures the disease, poison, wound, and fear, I just picked that skill up and put it in this response and then accepted. And I did it for all of them: disease, fear, poison, wound. And then I accepted. What it does is, that's why you're seeing muster courage here as well for each of the 4 effects. So my skill cures everything. So every time I have an effect that needs to be removed, first I use my skill, and if I get it again, then I use my bot to clear it. That way, that's why there's 8 icons here, and every time I get an effect, 2 things will pop: the bot and the skill. Bot will be only of the color that needs to be the right part to remove that effect, while muster courage will be universal, so it will be appear with all of the 4 pots. What else does buff bars do? Well, buff bars can do a lot. Check this out. So watch my screen. You see this? Battle readied. Now see this? Battle hardened. That's really important. As a tank, I need to have it up almost all the time, ideally. So that's I have it there, so just so I can make sure that it stays almost always up there. That's a thing you can add from buff bars. How do you add it? Well, you add it by going to effect window, and in the effect window you can remove all the defaults from there, and then just click add. Once you click add, here you have custom. You go to custom, you type the name of the skill which you want there to show there. It does not have, or you type the name that you want to be showed. So it can be anything. Then check and see here if it's a buff or a debuff. In my case, it was a buff, so I had buff checked. Then to search the matching criteria means you type the general or similar or a full name or half name of the skill which you want to be shown there. That name has to be exactly, or some of that name has to be exactly what the exact skill name is. And then you can select category, and that's not really important. You don't need to select anything from here. And then you accept, and what that will do is it will show here the effects. As you see, I did battle shout, battle ready showed. I did pressing attack, battle hardened showed. I did blade of Elendil, and Elendil's fortune showed here. These are the things I need to they're important for me as a tank. Other classes have other skills which they can add there just to keep the things you want to look with the cooldowns and everything. What else does okay, well, all the other effects show on the sliders as well, at the bottom here, like when you get a debuff, how long you're stunned for, how long you're rooted for, it will all show here. Right now I can't show you because I don't have the rooted effect on me, but it will show down here. That's buff bars. So if for nothing else, use it for the quick slots, which will help you cure your wound, poison, disease, and everything. Really, really helpful. Okay, let's go to the next plugin. Open the plugins manager again. The next one is called a buff monitor. Not super important, but I recommend it because I use it for the buffs which are really, really important and which need to stay all the time. Because quick slot ones that I use from the buff bars, those are important, but um, they are short buffs, so they should just pop up there, and I don't want them to be shown at all times. While these are the long buffs which need to be there at all times. So buff monitor, you can create any new window. Once you create a new window, it shows you here what kind of effect you want to be shown in that place. So here, for example, I have typed relentless attack and on guard. So whenever I do this and this, it shows here on guard. On guard is this buff. On guard, the 6000 parry rating, 5% defense, and minus 10% power cost. So I want it shown there. That's the buff that goes on the whole fellowship, so I need to always know that it's always up for me as well as for the fellowship. As a red captain, obviously it's gonna be the relentless attack buff, which gives everyone critical rating and mastery. The second one is rousing cry buff. I don't know if it will show here at the moment, but yeah, that's the rousing cry buff. Third one is the defending buff. That's the extra armor, so every time I hit short strike, it refreshes itself. That's what gives me extra armor, meaning mitigation. So if I don't do it, just check now my mitigation, let it expire. Okay, now check, my physical mid is 80k, my tactical mid is 74k. So every time I hit short strike, my physical mid goes to 94k, tactical goes to 77k. So that's buff, so I need to keep an eye on it, make sure it stays there. It used to be more important before I got this item from Thrang, which gave me that really extra physical mid, which I really don't really need. Before that, I used to always do short strike to make up for the lost armor, which translates into physical mid. What else is here? Here is Shield of the Dunedain, so I need to watch how long my Shield of the Dunedain will last on me. As you can see right now, I'll do it. See, 25 seconds. So I need to watch how long do I have that shield, so that I can either ask for heal during that time and make sure my morale is at a good spot again before the Shield of the Dunedain runs out. So that's important. And lastly, it's last stand. So every time I hit last stand, that's really important as well. Just know that, okay, I have 10 seconds or 15 seconds where I cannot die no matter what. So I have that this time to ask the healer to heal me up, or to get ready for my eventual death. Okay, what else? That's buff. You can add anything, pretty much anything that appears under your portrait here, you can make it appear on the buff monitor. You can create as many windows and you can resize them as well, like this. You just click on this, be in the UI thing, and then just resize it to whichever size you prefer it. Okay, another important, as you see, these bars, these extra bars here, these are the Bevy of Bars. That's the next plugin we'll go over. That's not super important, but it's not bad if you want your default quick slots to be a little more cleaner. Alright, these called Bevy of Bars. You just load it up. Bars, and then you are able to create, be in the UI. You're able to move them around. You're able to make new ones. So if you just right click, add bar, it adds a new bar. Copy bar, it copies one bar, makes another copy of it. You can lock them so that you don't drag the icons off them. I have made a difference. I have made one for the horses, one for the travel ports, one for the food and scrolls and defense stones, one for my captain banners and calling my captain heralds, and then some for the emotes. I made emotes here as well. Like pretty much everything that's in your game can be made to appear here as an icon, which you can move around and write it on a screen, have it on the screen. So it's good, highly recommended. Not essential, not super important. So only things so far, all the plugins I showed, the most important one was the buff bars. Second important was the combat analysis. Rest are add-ons. It just helps to have them, not essential. Okay, next plugin. You see the top bar? You might be wondering what that is. Well, that's called the Titan bars. That's the next good plugin. Important, essential, no. Really good to have, yes. So let's go here and go down to Titan bar. Okay, so once you load it up, it will show a bar here. It won't be filled obviously with everything I have here, because you just right click on it and there you can make appear whatever you want to make appear there. You can change its color, opacity, and pretty much everything. You can add the amount of gold you have. It shows you the total and then individual gold on your individual tunes. Another important thing here is this option over here, which lets you see your shared storage from everywhere in the game. So once you have the shared storage open once while this bar is loaded, it will save everything that's in it, and then you can just check whether you have that item in your shared storage or not. But not just that, it does the same thing for the vaults as well. So if you click the vault icon, it will show you my vault. What's in my vault, I can just check at any time. Every time I open it, it will update this list. But not just mine, I can check my all's vaults as well. So if I'm on Estelle and I want to check what's in Baggins's vault, personal vault, I can just click his and I can see if that item is in Baggins's vault or not. And there's the search option as well. But not just that, it also shows you the items in the backpack. So these are the items are in my backpack at the moment, but not just mine. If I want to check if something is in Baggins's backpack, I can click Baggins's and just see his backpack as well. And there's search option available for this one as well. Then you can make it show your marks, medallions, seals, commendations, your level, your gear, if it needs repairing or not, where you are at, and the time of the day. That's good. Very, very, very good to have, especially for nothing else. It's good for checking it's a nice alternative to the alt inventory. It basically shows you your alts backpacks, your backpack, your alts vaults, your shared storage, and all of them are searchable and you can search with them. So good to have. And one more plugin I wanted to show is sequence bar. So open this up again and go to sequence. Once you load it up, it will create these kind of icons. So like this, you edit sequence, and here it gives you these options. You can pick a piece of gear, you can arrange them like this, then you can have remove the option to remove as well. So if you just click this, it means remove left earring. You can select, make it right earring, make it left earring. So what it does basically is, let me show you, because showing you might be the easiest. So just watch here, watch my jewelry here as I click it. So I'm gonna start clicking. I want to go to my quest gear because I want to do more door dailies, for example. I need quest gear. I'm here. I'll start clicking now and check this jewelry and gear, how they change. All I'm doing is clicking one button over and over again. It's changing. All of it is changed. And that's sequence bars. You see that? If I want to be in the tank setup, I need to quickly be in the tank gear. I need to tank something. I made a sequence bar for the tank, and now look at my gear. Look at this area and this area. Check how it changes. I'm not doing anything else. I'm just clicking at one spot over and over again, and it's done. I'm in the tanking gear now. So sequence bar is really good to have. I learned from YouTube. Some guy made a video about explaining and how to set these up. I would recommend watching those because that's the video I followed to make my sequence bars as well. I think he'll explain it better than me. I highly recommend searching sequence bar setup Lotro on YouTube, and you'll find the video. Really good to have, but sequence bar is a lifesaver. It's a time saver, and most importantly, again, not essential, but really makes your gaming much easier and saves you a lot of time while you open your bag, especially characters with lots of gear options and alternative gears like Captain. Then you can't be one by one going over, okay, I need this item, this item, this item. It just saves you a lot of time. You just keep clicking one and it changes automatically, and it gears you. It removes what needs to be removed and then gears you up. And lastly, it's Super Chrono. Super Chrono is a time watch. It gives you the option to make these stopwatches here, like Gloom Spirit in the SS raid or SS instance, or Mumakil adds throne raid. So you just click this, it opens up. You can create a time watch, stopwatch. You can put the seconds here. You can have it blink at when it's about to go off. You can loop it at 75 seconds, so it repeats itself and resets at 75 seconds. It resets at 75 seconds. Then you update it, and the timer starts. And that's for the timed fights where sequence or with time things happen. Like ads and Sagrog come every 1 minute, so you need to be if you start it when the first wave of ads comes on second boss of Abyss raid, then you know that okay, next one are about to come. Same goes for the twins devoted as well on the first boss of Abyss. You start timer, so it's 1 minute and 30 seconds. When the new devoted are about to come, you can tell the lore master. Okay, so that's it. That is all the plugins I use. I don't use any others. This is it. I hope you guys liked the video. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask. I will answer. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the plugins video, and I'll see you guys later.